In the previous lesson, we have learned about HTML control class, HTML container control class, and HTML generic control class. HTML elements for which no explicit closing tag is required, we can access them using HTML control class derivatives. That is, there is one section of HTML elements for which we have classes. Using those classes, we can access those HTML elements, and these classes are derived directly from HTML control class. But there is some other controls which cannot be accessed using classes that derive from HTML control class. For them, we have HTML container control class. This HTML container control class can be used to access HTML elements for which an explicit closing tag is required. And for all other elements, for which there is no class, an explicit class to access them, which are otherwise inaccessible using HTML control and HTML container control classes, we can make use of HTML generic control class. With the help of HTML generic control class along with other HTML classes, we can manipulate every element of our ASP.NET page from our server side code. For example, here we have MetaTag. MetaTag cannot be accessed by using HTML control or HTML container control classes. They can be accessed using HTML generic control class. So let us make use of MetaTag here in this program to demonstrate HTML generic control class. So for that, let us create a website, file new, website, C# ASP.NET empty website. We'll call this as MetaTag demo. Click OK here. So we have an empty website. Right click on the URL node, select add web form, click OK. So in the HTML tag we have a head section. Inside head section we have a title. So let us give some title here using HTML generic control class, and we'll add a meta tag here. So to access this meta tag using HTML generic control class, let us give an ID here. Let us call this as meta1, and we have to declare it using runNet equal to server. So once it is declared using ID and runNet equal to server, from the server side we can access this meta tag using the ID. So when you are using the ID of the meta tag, it implicitly uses HTML generic control class. So to access the code behind of this ASP.NET page, press F7. So this is our code behind file. So in the code behind file, we will access this meta tag and apply the attributes here. So one of the attributes that we are applying is name, and we are specifying some value here, value here, and we will access one more attribute here, that is called content. Let us give some value here. generated on. So here we are specifying the date and time when the page is generated for rendering. Let us save this, save the page, go to debug, start with the debugging. So here we have a blank page here. Let us go to the HTML that is received from the server. Right click on the web page, select view page source. So here we have the meta tag where we have the name attribute specified and the content value also specified. So this is the date and time when this page is generated. So in this way we can make use of HtmlGenericControl class by specifying the ID for all the HTML elements which are otherwise unaccessible using HTML control and HTML container control classes.